Hello everybody and welcome back to Space Engineers. This is episode 29 of the Let's Play series, and in today's episode we are going to get some magnesium, we're going to get some decoys up to protect the base, and we're going to get a mining ship. Now as you can see in the background, I've already built the mining ship, did that between episodes, and I've already welded up a bit of the base, but we now need to defend this, so I've got to get some decoy blocks up and working. We've still got to build a shuttle, which if you haven't seen it, check out the card at the top. That's the link to the build along episode where we did it. So defenses are important to us today. We need to get some more guns up and working as well, because we got annihilated between, and I need to get some magnesium up because this didn't have any ammo. It does now, and we need a couple of decoys. Now, for decoy location, don't know where we're getting pushed from as a majority. I think we need something here. And the reason I want it here, because at the moment, the mine will support us, and maybe one on that. So we might build two decoys there and there, just to help protect this base. So with that said and done, let's crack on. And the first thing we'll do is probably build a decoy. See you in a bit. So some of you might be wondering why I said I was going to build decoys, and yet here I am. I'm welding up, basically, thrusters. Well, if you look at my build along episode from Wednesday, basically anything can be a ship as long as it has the right kind of thrusters, and by that I mean directional. So we need to throw a gyroscope on this, but that's it. This is ready to be a ship. Like it will fly absolutely fine. So we just need to make sure that there's enough vertical thrust, which I'm not sure of, given that one large. It's going to be close, but we'll experiment and we'll see what happens. But I'll bring you back when this is fully printed and we're about to take off and see what happens. Does it sink or does it fly? Let's find out. So we're going to grind this off and hopefully it doesn't fall. Perfect. Oh, this, my friends, it's a perfect little ship. Who wouldn't want a ship like this? Right, so let's... Oh, I can't believe this worked. So I'm just going to fly this decoy over here. And we'll get it... Oh, I've got to remember I've only got a tiny thruster. So where do I want it? I want it kind of on this hill, I think. That's where I had the old one. We'll try and leave this a little bit of land for itself. Now, this is going to be challenging to park, but I think I'm up to it. Let's get it roughly where we want it. Probably here. Zoom in a bit. Now we want to lay it down as gently as we can and hope that this is good. We're never going to get perfectly level. Now, if I go into info here, can I make it a station now? I don't know if I can. Go back to station. I can. Cool, so now if I jump out, do I have any blocks on me? Next question. I do. What I want to do now is that. So now I've done this. This thing is set and is not going to go anywhere. And maybe we don't care about that. We do want to try and just make sure this has a solid foundation. Now it has a foundation. Wind turbine works, and we just need to get rid of the components that make up all this. So I'll tear this down, and as I tear that down, I will be putting it onto another one that I'm going to print to put elsewhere. This is loaded up with ammo already, he says, checking the guns. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, all of them have ammo. So I put about 54 rounds in there because that's literally what I had. I don't want to take everything out of here, and I don't think we'll get any in the next one. So I'm going to tear that one down, get another one printed, and I'll bring you back when this one is probably in position on top of that hill there. Or there. Where have I put it? See you in a second. Right, let's get this in roughly the right orientation and bring it down. Now, how far away am I from that? Yeah, okay. This is 400 meters from there. 488 for mag. Okay, I think this is pretty good, to be honest. So we might just cover up that little blemish on the landscape there, which will make it a little bit further away. But I think this is going to end up being alright. So let's get this pitching correctly and try and get this as low as we can to the ground. And we'll do like we did on the other one. We'll put it on stilts. How close is that? Can we get any lower? Can? Is that still level? Kind of. Alright, so I'm going to... Oh, no. Turn it to a station. Convert to station. Cool. That should now be stationary. Let's go grab... Oh, I've got some. Good. Good. Let's find one... I want to anchor it in one spot if I can. Let's do it under here, because this will be the easiest one. Boom. So that is now anchored, which is good. We need to get some stilts on here. I don't know how many blocks we have. Oh, I'm not going to get one under there, am I? So this might work. It's very awkward. There we go. So I'm going to get this on a few stilts and weld it up and get the engines torn down. And then we'll be getting on with whatever is next on our agenda, which was probably going to be mining magnesium. But while we're mining the magnesium, we'll leave the shuttle that we designed printing on that printer. So we'll do a bit of conversion of that, and I'll show you how to convert it. So it can do small grid as well as large grid. And then we'll go do mining while it's printing. And then we'll finish the episode by flying up to that thing. There. Yeah, that's there. Alright, see you in a second. Welcome back. So what I've done is I've added a little block here and a rotor, and I ground off the head, and using build vision, scroll right down here and just attach a small head. Now, I don't need to do anything more than that other than get a projector on there. So let's switch this to the small grid, grab the components, and this is more or less it, because now I've got this small grid connector. This is a small grid. This is a small grid. I was trying to continue the sentence, but that is the end of the sentence. Now, as this pushes up, it will weld this up. It's not necessary. But we can see, if I try and place a block on here, this is now falling onto the floor, but that's kind of perfect. So we can put a small grid chip on there. The only thing I do want to do is make sure rotor lock is on. It's going to require that block to be welded up, but we can get that in a second. And let's just resume this, going back inwards. The only thing we want to do now is probably rename this projector. So I'm just going to stand... Oh, don't push there, push X. Stand up here. And we'll call this projector large grid dash small grid. So I know roughly what it is. Now, if I come here and we just find that projector, large grid. So we should have a projector here. Large grid, small grid, purple, brilliant. So all I want to do is grab my blueprint, which I found earlier. I haven't named it. It's a bit foolish of me, but that is the way I roll. If we have a look at this, which I cannot because I'm so far away, it's kind of... Oh, it's in the right orientation. It just needs to be spun around. Now, obviously, this is going to require yet another toolbar, but at the same time, shouldn't be too bad. That'll be this one. So I'm going to set this toolbar up, get the ship in the right place, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to head to the mine. See you in a second. Right, so I'm just going to reverse this and throw on the welders, and that should be all we need to do here. Oh, man, I always hit Z. So I just added a few extra blocks there, so it's got more to grip onto. Hopefully that'll finish welding by the time we're back from the mine. And it's just magnesium we need, so let's come down here. And as you maybe saw earlier, if I include it anyway, this is the mining ship. So we built this one as basically a large mining vessel for atmospheric mining. Now, I've never used it. I hope it's okay. Now, I want to be a little bit careful with this ship because I've lost so many ships lately. So I'm going to try my best to get out of here without getting shot. Now, this doesn't have any defenses on it. I thought about putting some gun turrets on it, and I kind of eventually just went off the idea in the end. What it does have, though, is a really tight fit to get out. Wow. Okay. This is maybe a bit too big to be stored in there. I mean, it's possible, but it's pretty big. And, okay, we're out. So we're going to head over to the Magnesium mine now, which I think is over here. It's been a while. I actually turned off the marker for it, so I should probably turn that back on. I turned off almost all of the markers that were down here because just honestly, not worth it. All it's going to do is cause me to get confused about where I'm flying in space, so I turned it off. But I didn't. Obviously, the the events of last week were not expected. That was I need magnesium. I've got to get as much magnesium as I can now, because my rough plan is to build the shuttle, establish an oxygen supply on the base up there, and I'll take some supplies up with me. If I can get an oxygen supply up there, then I should, in theory, be able to survive up there for quite a while. I might then go do what can only be described as a very quick run, a scouting mission, to try and find gold. Alright, I decided to change up my mining tactic because it was taking so long to empty the stone. I figured I'd try to see how long it would take for me to, well, basically mine the magnesium and then pick it up by hand. So I've just been creating these little wells on the floor, and then I can just pick up these big blocks of magnesium, leave the stone behind, and I'm picking up some stone, but I'm not picking up much stone. This is working out a little bit quicker, and this should take us well over 50k, so about 53k I think by the time we've got this load on. So we'll be heading back to the base, and then hopefully, make sure I've got all that. Hopefully we'll have a shuttle built, and then we can start thinking about progressing that to get up there. Now, one good thing about the base is I don't have to babysit the creation of the ammo because the scripts will do that for me. So all I really need to do is make sure I've got some magnesium in the base, and then leave the rest to the good old scripts to take care of while I fly up to space. Right, I thought I would bring you back now because there are bogies on the scope. They might attack us. This would be not good. And we can see that the ship is completely printed as well. So that means we probably will get attacked, and hopefully our decoys will do their job. But first things first, I want to try and get this into cover. So we can get it down here. Hopefully we can do that before anything comes at us, if anything comes at us. I think it's 1.5 kilometers I have to get. I think I am outside that. So let's get this down here. Oh, the ship is heavy now. I can feel when it moves, it is not good. I tried turning off, by the way, my reactors. I think I had like 2 minutes of power, like 2 hours, 51 seconds. Yeah, so I need to get inside, and I need to make sure everything is all right. Oh wow, can I do this? It's so tight. This hole was not designed for this ship, but this is the safest place for it to be. Wow, if we can just get through here, there's just enough room in here. This is so tight. This is the external view, as you can see. God, can I even get an angle in here where I can see external? Oh. Wow. I ran out of power.
Fuel
Well,
critical.
definitely in now. So, did I run out of uranium? If I did that, it's not ideal. Let's double check. No, I got loads of uranium. So we probably just haven't got any charge left at all in the battery. Yeah, it's not charging at all either. So we need to get this charged back up. So I'm gonna sort this ship out and get it connected. And we will come back in a second and go check out that ship when I've got this docked. Or at least got some of the stuff off it. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, welcome back. I've just left it. It is too hard to move it. So what I am going to do is grab some of this magnesium and manually move it over here because we do need to get some in the base. That's 3. We want about 10k roughly in the base. So we can get roughly 10k in there. That should give us enough to make some ammo. Not going to make a lot, but it's enough to keep this base with ammo, I hope. So we'll check and see if we end up with any spare, because that's the goal. I know 50k is a lot, but I'd rather take as much as possible up to space and use yield modules, which I can't do until I get gold from the moon. And I guess that comes on to what we want to do next time as well. I think the reality is we're going to get this shuttle and we will take it to the moon, do a bit of an exploration, grab some gold, come back, and then when we know where we're going and where we're going to land, I think we'll then come back and do another mission to set up a more permanent base. But I think I want to get yield modules and ammo, because without ammo and without the yield modules to get more ammo, it's going to be a real pain, because I think we're going to need to almost have like a rapid response base. So I'm actually thinking of doing an episode in the build along where I can find a way of maybe attaching a set of decoys and gun turrets or something to the shuttle, which I'll show you in a second. Because if I can find a way of doing that, essentially what I have is something I can drop down that gives me quite a lot of protection while I basically get underground and set up a proper base. And we are going to have to do it underground, so that is almost necessary. That's what's going to happen is my ship's going to get destroyed. So we're going to end up building a tunnel and going into that. But yeah, we need a way of defending stuff on the surface. So I think we'll come up with some sort of detachable landing base. I don't know what's going to be on it. I might put some blocks on it. I might not. I think the reality is it needs guns. I'd like them to be large grid, and that is the problem. Because I could build it out of large grid, but I don't know if my little hydrogen ship will better carry it. We're going to have to do some testing. It might be able to carry it if it's empty, which is fine, because it will be empty on its way out there. I think you can get iron on the moon. I'm not 100% sure. If you can, good, because then I can make everything else. I shouldn't need much else. Nickel is the other thing I can do with taking back up with me. So I must remember to take nickel back up to space for me. If I don't, then again, hard times. But we'll see. Let's get the last of this cobalt, which is only a couple hundred. That's not bad. That leaves me 40k of cobalt and nickel to take up to space for me, which is fine. Right, let's go see what this ship is doing. So the first thing we want to do is put this back where it should be, which is nice and close to the projector. We'll have to catch it now. I see quite a few blocks missing, which is a shame, because we're going to have to weld those up. And oh, I'm going to need to get a connector on there to fill this with hydrogen. All right, now is a great time to bring you back. I've got the conveyors on. I've got this contraption built. I think I've welded up everything on here. We'll find out later. And I've hit a snag. This can't connect. So what I've done is I've just run a line off the other side. And hopefully, when I grind this block down, Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Oh, I'm so scared. Yeah, perfect. And that is more or less it. Because now I should be able to switch the lock on this. Yeah, it's ready to lock. Perfect. Hydrogen. That's it. All we need to do. Now, one thing I do want to do here, though, probably turn off this piston for now. Because there is little point in thrusting this any further into it. We need to get some hydrogen on here. And I don't think I set up any groups for these tanks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stockpile one of these tanks. Because I need hydrogen. It's very simple. If I want to fly a ship, I need fuel for the ship. So let's get that stockpiled. I might stockpile one on the other side of the ship as well. That should then give me enough fuel to fly to my ice base and fill up. Okay, we have made it here. It's pretty dark, to be honest. So the only thing we need to do is just steal some hydrogen and basically head to space. So let me see if we can set these tanks up to stockpile. And then hopefully that will give us all of the hydrogen we need to get to space. And we'll just do a pulse and glide technique that we did before. And I'll bring you back when we actually make it to space, I guess. Right, we made it to our asteroid. I decided to park this in the little hidden cave that we have, just to give myself a little bit more protection. I'm sure nothing bad will happen, but it's in there. It can barely be seen most of the time, so hopefully that will keep that well protected. Now, where is the entrance? That's ship cave, ship platform. Cool. So now we've made it back. We're just going to log out, basically. We're done for the day. Next week's episode, what we need to do is get a basic base of some kind established here. So I need to get oxygen generation. I need to get oxygen storage. I need to replace this with a proper refinery. I need to replace this with proper cargo containers. We need to dig out this whole area. Now, I haven't decided how I'm going to do that, because obviously my ship is... Where's my hidden cave marker? Somewhere down here, I guess. Ship cave. Ice lake. No. I don't know where my ship is. Maybe it's over there. But wherever it is, we might just tunnel through and make some room in here so we can build out, because this is really awkward to dig out by hand. So we'll get the base established here. We'll get oxygen up and working. In the build along, we might start exploring the possibility of using like a connector to add something to our ship that's a temporary build. Like maybe it'll be a large grid, couple of Gatling turrets or 3 or 4 Gatling turrets. Just something like that that will give us some protection so that when we get to the moon with our single ship that we have with its single respawn point, that we have a possibility of getting gold. Which reminds me, we need to get a med bay up here as well, because this isn't good enough. So we'll get this pimped out next week, and then the week after that we'll probably end up going to the moon and doing a very quick get in, find gold, get out. That is the only thing we want to do. Get the yield modules and start really producing as much as we can for this. So with that all said and done, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Fly safe.